The rain came softly that evening. It arrived without fanfare, without thunder or lightning. Just a gentle, whispering drizzle that settled over the little town like a favorite old blanket. You could hear it on the rooftops. A quiet patter, steady and sure. The kind of rain that makes you grateful for a warm place to be. This is Evergreen Falls. Population, maybe a little less. The kind of town where everyone knows your name, where the local diner still serves pie on real ceramic plates, where the streetlights flicker on at dusk. You. One by one. Like old friends waking from a nap. Tonight, the streets are slick and shining. The pavement reflects the glow of neon signs. Red and blue and soft amber gold. Each puddle becomes a tiny mirror, holding fragments of light, holding pieces of this small, perfect world. Let's take a walk together. Just you and me. Through the quiet streets of this little Pacific Northwest town. There's no rush here, no schedule to keep. No alarms waiting to pull you from this moment. Just the sound of rain. Shh. And the gentle rhythm of footsteps on wet concrete. We start on Main Street. It's a 2-lane road, lined with old brick buildings. Most of them were built in the 1920s, maybe earlier. You can see the craftsmanship in every detail, the arched windows, the faded painted signs on the walls, advertisements for businesses long gone. Anderson's Hardware, one sign reads. The letters are barely visible now, washed by decades of Pacific rain. But if you look closely, shh, if you let your eyes adjust to the dim light, shh, you can still make out the words. The buildings stand shoulder to shoulder, like old friends at a reunion. Some have been renovated, fresh coats of paint, new awnings in forest green and burgundy. Others remain untouched, their original character preserved by time and gentle neglect. A barber shop sits on the corner. The red and white pole still turns in the window. Slow and hypnotic. Around and around. It's been doing that for 60 years. Maybe longer. Nobody remembers when it was installed. It just belongs there. Next door, there's a small insurance office. The lights are off. A single desk lamp glows in the back. Maybe someone forgot to turn it off. Or maybe it stays on all night. A tiny beacon of warmth in the darkness. The rain continues to fall. It drums softly on the canvas awnings. It runs in little rivers along the gutters. It fills the air with that clean mineral smell, that scent of wet earth and old stone, that fragrance that only comes when rain meets a small town at dusk. We pass by the old movie theater, the Evergreen Cinema. It's a single-screen palace from another era. The marquee still uses those black plastic letters, the ones that someone has to rearrange by hand. Tonight, it announces a classic film, something from the 1950s, a romance maybe, or a gentle mystery. The kind of movie where nobody gets hurt, where everything works out in the end. The box office window is dark. The last showing ended an hour ago, but the lobby lights still glow through the glass doors. You can see the red velvet ropes, the brass stanchions, the old popcorn machine, quiet and still. If you've ever been to a theater like this, you know the smell. Butter and salt, worn carpet and vintage upholstery. A hint of that sweet, sticky residue from countless spilled sodas. It's not unpleasant. Not at all. It's nostalgic. familiar, like a scent that carries you back to childhood, to Saturday afternoons with your parents, to first dates and nervous laughter. The marquee buzzes softly above us, a gentle electrical hum. Some of the bulbs are out. They create little gaps in the border of light, but somehow that makes it more beautiful, more real. Imperfection has its own kind of charm. We keep walking, past the hardware store with the creaky wooden floors, past the little post office where Mrs. Patterson has worked for 32 years, past the vacant lot where the old gas station used to be. They tore it down last spring. Now it's just gravel and weeds. A chain-link fence surrounds it. But even empty lots have their own beauty at night. The way the rain collects in the low spots, the way the streetlight catches each individual drop. There's a fire hydrant at the corner, painted bright yellow. It's been repainted so many times over the years. Layer upon layer. The paint is thick and slightly bubbled, like the hydrant is wearing a heavy winter coat. A storm drain gurgles nearby, taking in the runoff, carrying it underground, down through old pipes. Pipes that were laid by workers decades ago. Men who wore canvas gloves and drank black coffee from metal thermoses. Men who built things to last. Now we turn onto Maple Street. This is where the magic happens. Maple Street curves gently to the left, following the natural contour of the hillside. The trees here are enormous, old-growth maples and Douglas firs. Their branches reach across the road, creating a canopy overhead, a living tunnel of green and brown. When the rain falls through those branches, it sounds different, softer, more musical. Each leaf catches a drop or two, holds it for a moment, then releases it. The water finds its way down, bouncing from branch to branch. Until, finally, it reaches the ground. Drip, drip, drip. A natural rhythm, steady and soothing, the percussion of the forest, playing its quiet song just for us. The houses along Maple Street are modest, craftsman bungalows mostly, built in the 1930s and 40s. They have wide front porches, sturdy columns, windows with multiple panes of glass. Each one catches the light differently, reflecting the street lamps, creating little golden rectangles in the darkness. Smoke rises from a few chimneys, thin gray ribbons against the charcoal sky. Someone is burning oak tonight. You can smell it, that rich, woody fragrance. It mingles with the rain and the pine, creating something new, something uniquely Northwest. A porch light clicks on. Not for us. Just because someone inside remembered to turn it on. Or maybe it's on a timer. One of those old mechanical timers. The kind that makes a soft clicking sound every few minutes, marking the passage of time. The house is painted blue, a deep, dusty blue, like the color of the sky just before full dark. White trim around the windows, a welcome mat by the door. Inside, you can see movement. Someone walking past a window, just a silhouette. A shadow going about its evening routine. Maybe making dinner. Maybe settling in for the night. There's a cat in the window, an orange tabby. It watches us pass, eyes bright and curious, tail flicking slowly back and forth. Then it loses interest, turns away, returns to whatever important cat business occupies its evening. We keep walking, slow and steady. The rain continues, And then we see it. At the end of Maple Street, where the road dead ends at the base of the hillside, there's a bookstore. Not just any bookstore. This is Weatherby's Books and Curiosities. It's been here since 1947, longer than most people in town can remember. The building itself is old. Older than the business. It was a general store once. Before that, something else. The walls hold 100 years of stories, maybe more. The facade is painted a deep forest green. The trim is cream-colored. The paint is chipped in places, worn by years of rain and sun. But that only adds to its character, its authenticity. A wooden sign hangs above the door. Hand-carved letters. Weatherby's Books. A small owl is etched into the corner, the unofficial mascot of the shop. The windows are large, almost floor to ceiling. And through them, you can see the books, rows and rows and rows of books, stacked on shelves, piled on tables, arranged in careful displays. Some are new, crisp spines and glossy covers, but most are old, used and loved and passed from hand to hand, their pages soft with age, their covers worn by countless readings. A warm light glows from within, not harsh or bright, gentle, the kind of light that comes from old brass lamps, from fixtures that were installed decades ago, from bulbs that give off warmth as well as light. The door is painted red, a cheerful, welcoming red. There's a brass handle, worn smooth by years of hands pushing and pulling, and above the handle, a small sign, open. We step inside. The door makes a sound as it opens. Not a creak, not a squeak, something in between. A wooden, settling kind of sound, the sound of old hinges doing their job, the sound that tells the people inside that someone has arrived. A bell jingles overhead, a simple brass bell, hung on a red ribbon. It's been there forever, announcing every visitor, welcoming every customer. A tiny, cheerful voice saying, "Hello." And then the smell hits you. Close your eyes for a moment. Just breathe. It's paper and ink. That's the foundation, the base note. Old paper has a particular scent, slightly sweet, a little dusty, like dried flowers or aged vanilla. The ink adds something sharper, something that lingers at the back of your nose. But there's more. Coffee. Fresh brewed coffee from the small station in the corner. A simple setup. Just a drip machine on a wooden table. A stack of ceramic mugs. A jar of sugar cubes. A small pitcher of cream. And something else. Town. Candles. Beeswax candles. They burn on the counter, on the windowsills, on little ledges between the shelves. They add their own fragrance, warm and slightly honeyed, like a beehive in summer, like Sunday mornings and childhood memories. This is Weatherby's. This is where we'll spend our evening. The store is larger than it looks from outside. It unfolds as you walk through it. Room after room, alcove after alcove, each one filled with books. The main floor is the largest. This is where the popular titles live. The fiction section stretches along the left wall. Thousands of novels, mysteries and romances, thrillers and literary classics. They're organized by author. Little handwritten labels mark each section. The non-fiction occupies the right side. History and biography. Science and philosophy. Self-help and travel. Each category has its own shelf, its own little world. In the center of the room, Dadiu, Dadiu, tables. Old wooden tables, the kind you might find in a farmhouse, sturdy and honest. They hold featured books, staff picks, new arrivals. Each one has a small card explaining why it was chosen, handwritten in blue ink. Personalized recommendations from people who truly love to read. The floor is hardwood. Oak, probably. It's original to the building. Over a century of footsteps have worn paths in the grain, lighter channels where people have walked, darker patches in the quiet corners. The floor tells its own story. Every scuff and scratch is a chapter. It creaks as we walk. Not loudly, just enough to let us know it's there, just enough to add to the charm. The counter is at the back, a massive thing, built from reclaimed wood. It might have been a bar once, or the counter of that old general store. Now it holds the cash register. An old mechanical register, brass and iron. It still works. The drawer opens with a satisfying ding. Behind the counter sits Margaret Weatherby. She's the granddaughter of the original owner. She's been running the shop for, probably 30 years now. Her hair is silver, pulled back in a loose bun. Her glasses hang on a chain around her neck. She wears a cardigan, deep burgundy, soft and well-worn. She looks up as we enter. Her face breaks into a smile. Not a big, showy smile. Something smaller, warmer. The kind of smile that says, "You're welcome here." That says, "Stay as long as you like." "Evening," she says. Her voice is like the store itself. Warm, comfortable, unhurried. Wet night out there. She gestures toward the window. The rain is still falling. You can see it streaming down the glass. Each drop catches the light from within, creating tiny rivers of gold. "Coffee's fresh," she adds. "Help yourself." And then she returns to her book. Because that's how it works at Weatherby's. You're welcome to browse, to explore, to stay. No pressure, no sales pitch, just books. And warmth. And time. Let's wander for a while. Let's lose ourselves in the stacks. We start in the fiction section. The shelves here are tall. 8 feet, at least. They reach almost to the ceiling. Wooden ladders on brass rails allow access to the highest books. But tonight, we'll stay on ground level. There's more than enough to discover here. The spines create a patchwork of colors, deep blues and rich reds, forest greens and mustard yellows. Some are plain, simple text on cloth covers. Others are ornate, gold embossing and illustrated designs. Together, they form a pattern, a mosaic of stories waiting to be read. We run our fingers along the spines, feel the texture, smooth leather on the older volumes, rough linen on the cloth covers, slick paper jackets on the newer editions. Each one feels different. Each one tells you something about the book within. Here's a mystery from the 1950s. The cover shows a woman in a red dress, a shadowy figure in the background. The pages are yellowed. The binding is loose. But someone has read this book. Maybe many someones. Their fingerprints are invisible. Present. Part of the book's history now. Here's a romance from the 80s. Embossed silver letters on a purple cover, a castle in the moonlight. This was someone's favorite once. You can tell by the creased spine, by the slight separation between pages 34 and 35. Someone always opened to that section. Their favorite scene, perhaps. A moment that meant something to them. And here's a collection of short stories. Published in 1923. The cover is plain, brown cloth with simple gold text, but inside, there are worlds, dozens of little worlds, each story a door to somewhere else, to someone else's life and loves and losses. We pick up the book, feel its weight in our hands. The pages are soft, tissue thin. They make a gentle whisper as we turn them, like the book is speaking to us, sharing its secrets in a voice too quiet to understand. There's a reading nook in the corner, a small space between two shelves. Someone has placed an armchair there, an old wingback chair, upholstered in faded velvet. The color might have been green once. Now it's somewhere between sage and gray. A small table sits beside it, just large enough for a mug of coffee and a book. A reading lamp arches overhead. Brass stem. Amber glass shade. It casts a pool of warm light, just enough to read by, just enough to create a private little world within the larger store. We settle into the chair. The cushion sighs as we sit. It's been holding people for years. Decades. It knows how to support a body, how to comfort a soul. It adjusts to us, welcomes us, invites us to stay. From here, we can see the whole store. Margaret at the counter, reading her book, occasionally looking up to smile at a customer or adjust her glasses, the shelves stretching in every direction. Holding their treasures, waiting for curious hands, the rain against the windows, still falling, still singing its quiet song, and we're warm, and we're comfortable, and we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Let's stay here for a moment, just breathing, just being. The rain outside has settled into a steady rhythm. Shh. That's the sound it makes, a continuous, gentle shushing, like the world itself is telling us to relax, to let go, to rest. The old building creaks occasionally, not from anything concerning, just from being alive. Old buildings are like that. They shift and settle. They respond to temperature and humidity. They have their own voices, their own ways of communicating. The baseboard heater clicks on. You can hear the tick, tick, tick as the metal expands. Then the soft hum of warmth radiating outward. It fills the room, wraps around us like a blanket, chases away any lingering chill from the rainy night outside. Somewhere, a clock is ticking. We can't see it from here, but we can hear it. Tick, tick, tick. A steady, patient rhythm, marking time without rushing it. Each second passes, then the next, then the next. And we're still here, safe and warm, in this little bookstore at the end of Maple Street. A customer enters. The bell above the door jingles. We hear the wooden sound of the door, the soft squeak of wet shoes on hardwood, a gentle rustling as someone shakes rain from their coat. It's an older gentleman. He wears a hat, one of those canvas fishing hats, the kind with the wide brim. It's dripping slightly. He removes it, runs a hand through thin gray hair. "Evening, Margaret." His voice is gravelly, kind. "Evening, Walter." "The usual?" "Please." Margaret rises from her stool. She moves to a shelf behind the counter, pulls out a brown paper bag, hands it to Walter. "Came in yesterday," she says. "First edition. Good condition." Walter's face lights up. "You're a treasure, Margaret." He pays in cash, old bills from an old wallet. The leather is cracked and worn, but it still works, like everything else in this town, built to last. Walter tips his hat, the wet one, and heads back into the rain. The door closes behind him. The bell jingles again, and quiet returns to Weatherby's. Let's explore a bit more. There's a staircase at the back. You might not notice it at first. It's partially hidden by a tall shelf of encyclopedias, old Britannicas from the 1970s. Their spines are cracked, their pages are yellowed, but they're still here, still holding knowledge, still waiting for curious readers. The staircase is narrow, steep. The steps are worn in the center, curved slightly from decades of ascending and descending feet. A rope handrail is attached to the wall, rough hemp. It feels solid, reliable. We climb. Each step creaks softly, a different note for each one, like climbing a musical scale. At the top, the second floor opens before us. This is the rare books room. The light here is different, dimmer, more golden. The windows are smaller. They face the hillside. Trees press close against the glass. Their branches tap gently in the wind. The shelves here are behind glass, locked cases protecting precious volumes. First editions, signed copies, books that are more than just stories. They're artifacts, pieces of history, moments frozen in paper and ink. We don't touch, we just look. Through the glass, we can see the spines. A Hemingway from 1929, a Fitzgerald from 1925, a Steinbeck from 1939. Names that mean something, dates that mark important moments, books that changed the world. One reader at a time. There's a leather sofa against the wall, oxblood red, cracked and aged. It smells like old libraries and distinguished studies, like places where important thoughts were thought, where great words were written. We sit. The leather is cool at first, then warm. It adjusts to our body, accepts our presence, makes room for us in its history. From here, WC, we can hear the rain on the roof. Closer now. We're directly beneath the shingles. Each drop lands with a soft tap. 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 A random pattern, never quite repeating, but somehow comforting. Familiar, like the rain has been falling on this roof forever, like it will continue forever, steady and sure. Let's close our eyes again, just for a moment. Feel the sofa beneath us. Feel the warmth of the room around us. Hear the rain on the roof. Hear the distant ticking of that unseen clock. We're safe here. We're warm. And the night stretches ahead of us, long and gentle, full of nothing that needs our attention, nothing that demands our worry. Just trust, 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 trust. After a while, trust. We rise. We descend the creaky stairs, one step at a time. The main floor welcomes us back. The warmth from the baseboard heaters, the smell of coffee and candles, the soft glow of brass lamps. Margaret is still at the counter. She's switched books. This one has a red cover. A romance, perhaps. Or a mystery with a romantic subplot. Her reading glasses are perched on her nose now. She turns pages slowly, savoring each one. There's a cat. We didn't notice it before. It's curled on a cushion near the coffee station. An old cat, gray and white. Its eyes are half closed. Its breathing is slow and rhythmic. It's been part of this store for years, as much a fixture as the shelves themselves. The cat's name is Henry. We don't know how we know this. We just do. Henry has been greeting customers since he was a kitten. Now he's old, content, happy to watch the world pass by from his cushion, happy to accept the occasional scratch behind the ears. We don't disturb him. He looks so peaceful, so perfectly comfortable. The rain has intensified slightly. We can hear it against the windows now. A more insistent patter, still gentle, but present, reminding us that we're inside, that we're sheltered, that the storm is out there. And we are in here. The windows are old, single-pane glass with wooden frames. They rattle slightly in the wind. A soft, rhythmic sound, not alarming, just characteristic. Another voice in the chorus of this old building. Condensation is forming at the corners, little droplets gathering, joining together, occasionally sliding down the glass, creating tiny rivers on the window pane. Through the blur. Shh. We can see the street outside. The streetlight at the end of Maple Street is glowing, a warm amber color. It catches each raindrop as it falls, makes them visible for just a moment. Then they're gone, disappeared into the darkness below. Let's get some coffee. The station is simple, a small wooden table, old and weathered. It might have been a kitchen table once. Now it holds the coffee maker. A drip machine. Vintage, probably from the 1980s. It still works perfectly. Because things back then were built to last. We take a mug from the stack. It's heavy ceramic. Off-white with a thin blue stripe around the rim. The kind of mug you find at diners, at grandparents' houses, at places that understand the importance of a good cup of coffee. We pour. The coffee is hot. Steam rises from the surface. It curls upward, disappearing into the warm air of the bookstore. We breathe it in. The aroma. Rich and slightly bitter, with just a hint of hazelnut. Someone added flavored coffee to the blend. A nice touch. We add a cube of sugar. Watch it dissolve. The white crystal turning brown, becoming part of the whole. We skip the cream. Just coffee tonight, pure and simple. We wrap our hands around the mug, feel the heat seeping into our palms, warming us from outside in. Let's find another spot to sit. There's a bay window near the front of the store, a wide ledge with cushions, blue and white stripes, faded from years of sunlight. Now they're soft and worn, comfortable, inviting. We settle onto the window seat, pull our knees up slightly, cradle the coffee mug in our hands, and look out at the rain. From here, we can see the whole street, the wet sidewalk, the parked cars, the houses with their glowing windows. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. Just the rain, just the night, just this moment. A car passes slowly. Its headlights sweep across the store windows. For just a moment. Everything is illuminated. The books on the shelves. The sleeping cat. Margaret at her counter. The steam rising from our coffee. Then the light passes, and we return to the warm glow of the brass lamps. The car continues down the street. Its taillights glow red, then they're gone. Disappeared around the curve of Maple Street, heading somewhere else, someone else's evening. But we're here, still here, in Weatherby's Books and Curiosities, where time moves differently, where the world outside doesn't quite reach. The coffee is warm in our hands. We take a sip. It's perfect. Not too strong, not too weak. Just right. The sugar has balanced the bitterness, created something smooth and comforting. Another sip. Another moment of warmth spreading through us. The rain continues. The clock continues ticking. And we're exactly where we need to be. Margaret looks up from her book. She catches our eye, smiles softly, then returns to her reading. It's that simple, that connection. A brief acknowledgement of shared space, of shared warmth, of this quiet evening that we're all experiencing together. Henry the cat shifts on his cushion, stretches, then curls back into a tighter ball. His breathing returns to that slow, peaceful rhythm. In, out, in, out. We match our breathing to his, slow and steady. In, out, in, out, in, out. Let's look at the books surrounding us. On the shelf nearest the window, there's a collection of nature writing, essays about forests and rivers, about mountains and meadows, about the Pacific Northwest specifically. One book has a green cover, a photograph of a misty forest, tall firs disappearing into fog. The title is simple, Rainy Season. We reach for it, pull it from the shelf. The cover is slightly warped. Humidity has left its mark. But inside, the pages are clean, well preserved, waiting to be read. We open to a random page. The text is lyrical, contemplative. It describes the smell of rain on cedar, the sound of creeks swelling with runoff, the way fog hangs in valleys like a blanket, soft and gray and comforting. We read a paragraph, then another. The words wash over us, like the rain outside, gentle, persistent, soothing. The evening deepens. Outside, the sky has gone from gray to charcoal to black. The streetlights have come on fully now. They cast pools of amber light on the wet pavement. The rain catches the light. Each drop becomes a tiny spark, falling, 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 then gone, only to be replaced by more. An endless supply, an endless rhythm. The coffee is nearly finished now, just a thin layer at the bottom of the mug. Cool now, not quite as inviting, but we don't need more. We've been warmed from the inside. The coffee did its job, and now we're simply comfortable, simply present, simply here. Margaret stands from her stool, stretches. Her joints pop softly. She's been sitting for a while. She walks to the window nearest her counter, looks out at the rain. Supposed to rain all night, she says. She's not really talking to us, just talking, filling the quiet with a little bit of voice. Good sleeping weather. She smiles to herself, then returns to her stool, picks up her book, continues reading. Good sleeping weather.
Yes, she's right. Let's wander once more.
There's a room we haven't explored. At the very back of the store, past the staircase, past the rare bookshelf, a small doorway covered by a curtain. Velvet, deep purple, slightly dusty. We push through and find ourselves in the children's section. This room is different. The shelves are shorter, child height. The books are brighter. Primary colors and illustrated covers. Characters we might recognize, characters we might remember from our own childhoods. There's a tiny table in the center, 4 tiny chairs around it, sized for small bodies. A box of crayons sits on the table, half used, worn down to nubs, evidence of countless afternoons, countless small hands creating countless small masterpieces. The walls are decorated with drawings, children's art, rainbows and houses, flowers and suns, cats and dogs and families holding hands. Each one is taped to the wall with care. Each one is a gift, a thank you from a young visitor. There's a rocking chair in the corner, old wood, dark with age. It creaks softly when we touch it. A ghost of motion. This is where story time happens. We can imagine it. Margaret, or maybe someone else, sitting in this chair. A picture book open on her lap. A circle of children on the floor before her, eyes wide, mouths open, drinking in every word, every picture, every moment of magic. That's what books do, especially for children. They open doors. They create worlds. They plant seeds that grow into lifetimes of reading. We leave the children's section, return to the main floor. The velvet curtain falls closed behind us, hushing softly. The store is quieter now. The evening has settled in fully. No more customers entering, no more bells jingling, just Margaret and Henry
And us.
and the rain. Always the rain. We return to the bay window, our spot. The cushions are still warm from before, still holding the impression of our body. We settle in again. Look out at the night. The rain has softened now. Back to that gentle drizzle, that whisper, that shh, shh. Let's just breathe. In through the nose. Slow and deep. We smell the books, the coffee, the candles, the rain, all of it mixing together, creating something unique, something we'll remember, something that will stay with us, out through the mouth, slow and soft, releasing any tension, any worry, any thought that doesn't serve us, just letting it go, out into the night, out with the rain. Gone. The clock continues to tick. We still can't see it, but we know it's there. Somewhere in this store, keeping time, marking moments, patient and steady. Each tick is a heartbeat, the heartbeat of this old building, this old store, this old, wonderful place. Margaret closes her book. She's finished for the night. She removes her glasses, folds them carefully, places them on the counter. Then she looks around the store, taking inventory. Not of the books, of the feeling, the atmosphere, making sure everything is as it should be. Her eyes find us in the bay window. She nods. Closing in about 30 minutes, she says. No rush. No rush. That's the motto here. No rush. Ever. We have 30 minutes, 30 more minutes in this perfect place. Let's make them count. Let's soak in every detail. The way the lamplight falls on the spines of the books, creating shadows between each volume, little dark lines of mystery. The way the steam from Margaret's tea, she's switched from coffee, rises and curls, disappearing into the warm air. The way Henry's tail twitches occasionally. Dreaming cat dreams, chasing cat prey, in a world only he can see. The way the rain sounds against the old glass. Tap, tap, tap. Then silence. Then tap, tap again, random and beautiful. We pick up another book. This one is about small towns. Small American towns. It's a coffee table book, large format, full of photographs. We open it on our lap. The pages are thick, glossy. The photographs are beautiful. A main street in Vermont, leaves changing color, red and orange and gold. A general store in Montana. Mountains rising behind it, snow-capped and eternal. A diner in Texas, neon signs glowing. A pickup truck in the parking lot. Each image is a world, a complete, perfect world. Frozen in time, preserved on the page. We turn slowly, savoring each one. Each photograph tells a story. Each story makes us feel something, nostalgia maybe, or hope, or simply gratitude. Gratitude for these places, these moments, this country, our country, with all its small towns, all its quiet corners, all its hidden treasures. Like Evergreen Falls, like Weatherby's books, like this rainy night. We close the book, set it aside. The coffee mug is empty now, completely cold. We should return it to the table. But not yet. Just a few more minutes. Just a few more moments of holding something. Something solid. Something real. Margaret is tidying up, moving slowly around the store, straightening books on shelves, adjusting displays, blowing out candles, one by one. The store dims slightly with each extinguished flame, but it never goes dark. The brass lamps remain on, casting their steady glow, their reliable warmth. Henry stirs, opens one eye, watches Margaret move past, then closes it again, not concerned, not worried, just time, observing, as cats do. The rain is lighter now, almost finished for the night, but not quite. There's still a gentle mist falling. You can see it in the streetlight's glow. Tiny droplets, suspended in the air, not quite falling, not quite still, just there, part of the night, part of this moment. We rise from the window seat, slowly. Our body has settled, has relaxed. We didn't realize how comfortable we'd become, how fully we'd let go. We walk to the coffee station, place our empty mug with the others. It makes a soft clink, ceramic against ceramic. A small sound, a goodbye sound. Margaret looks up. Find everything okay? We nod. Just team being here, we say. She understands. Of course she understands. Best thing you can do in a bookstore, she says. Just be. She smiles. That same warm, knowing smile. Come back any time. We move toward the door, slowly, taking in the last moments, the smell, the warmth, the feeling. Our hand reaches for the brass handle, worn smooth, cool to the touch. We pull. The door makes its familiar sound, that wooden, settling creak. The bell above jingles. One last time for us. "Goodbye," the bell says. "Come back soon." We step outside. The air is cool, damp. The mist settles on our face, light as a whisper, fresh and clean after the warmth of the store. The night feels different, not cold, just. The rain has mostly stopped, but everything is still wet, still glistening. The streetlight still glows amber. The puddles still reflect the light. And behind us, Weatherby's Books glows, a beacon in the darkness, a warm, welcoming light. We turn and look. One more moment. Through the window. None. We can see Margaret. She's picking up Henry now, cradling the old cat in her arms, ready to close up shop, ready to head home. Or maybe she lives upstairs, in a small apartment above the rare books room, surrounded by stories, surrounded by history. We like that idea. Margaret and Henry, going upstairs to their cozy home, above the bookstore, listening to the last drops of rain on the roof, falling asleep in peace. We start walking. Back up Maple Street. Under the canopy of trees, the leaves are still dripping. Drip, drip, drip. That same steady rhythm. Our footsteps join the pattern, creating a new rhythm. Feet on wet pavement. Drops from the leaves. A distant owl calling. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Night sounds. Peaceful sounds. The houses along Maple Street are settling in. Lights going out. One by one. People heading to bed. Getting under covers. Listening to the same gentle night. The same quiet world. We pass the blue house with the orange tabby. The porch light is off now, but through an upstairs window, a soft glow. Someone reading before sleep, perhaps, or just staring at the ceiling. Thinking quiet thoughts. The tabby is probably curled at the foot of the bed, warm and content, dreaming cat dreams, just like Henry. We reach the corner of Maple and Main, the heart of Evergreen Falls. The streets are empty now. No cars, no people, just us. And the night, and the last whispers of rain. The movie theater marquee is dark. Someone turned it off, but the box office light still glows. A single bulb, left on through the night. A tiny vigil. Let's walk a little further. Down Main Street, past the darkened shops, past the closed cafes, past the quiet offices. The streetlights guide our way. Amber pools on wet concrete. Our shadow stretches before us. Then behind us. Then before us again. As we move from light to light. There's a bench at the corner. In front of the old bank building. A wrought iron bench, painted black, wet from the rain. We don't sit, but we pause. Look around. Take in this sleeping town. The buildings are silent. The windows are dark. But there's life here. Behind those walls, behind those doors, people sleeping, dreaming, resting, ready for tomorrow. Another day in Evergreen Falls, another round of familiar routines, coffee at the diner, gossip at the hardware store, a wave from a neighbor, a smile from a stranger. That's life here. Simple, good, real. We keep walking. The town gradually falls away behind us. The buildings space out. The lots get larger. The trees grow thicker. We're heading toward the edge of town now, where Evergreen Falls meets the forest, where civilization blends with wilderness. Gently, respectfully. There's a small park here. Miller Park, named after someone important probably, a founder, a benefactor, someone who loved this town. The park is quiet. A playground stands in the center, empty now. The swings hang motionless. The slide glistens with rainwater. The merry-go-round is still, waiting for morning, waiting for children, waiting to spin and laugh and create joy again. A path winds through the park, paved with gravel. It crunches softly beneath our feet. The sound is satisfying. Gravel has a particular voice. Rocky and rhythmic. We follow the path, past a picnic table, past a trash can, past a drinking fountain wrapped in a plastic bag, protected for winter. The path leads to a small bridge, just a footbridge, over a creek. The creek is swollen from the rain, moving faster than usual. We can hear it before we see it. A rushing, bubbling sound, water over rocks, water around branches, water finding its way downhill, always downhill, always toward the sea. We stop on the bridge, lean against the railing, look down at the water. It's dark here, no streetlights, just the ambient glow of the town behind us, and the stars. The clouds have parted slightly. We can see a few stars now, poking through, tiny pinpricks of light, so far away, so impossibly old. The light we're seeing left those stars years ago, decades, centuries maybe. It traveled all that time, all that distance, just to reach our eyes, right here, right now, on this little bridge, in this little town, in the Pacific Northwest, on a rainy night that's finally clearing. The creek rushes beneath us. We can feel the bridge vibrating slightly, the force of the water, the energy of nature. It's humbling, in a good way, reminding us how small we are, how brief our time is, but also how beautiful, how precious, how worth savoring. Every moment, every night, every star. Let's head home. We have a place waiting, somewhere warm, somewhere dry, somewhere with soft blankets and a comfortable bed. It doesn't matter where exactly. It exists. We know it does. We can feel it waiting for us, calling us, ready to wrap us in comfort, ready to carry us to sleep. We leave the bridge, follow the path back through the park, past the playground, past the empty swings. The merry-go-round catches a breeze, moves slightly, just a creak, then stillness again. Waiting, always waiting. We emerge from the park, back onto the streets of Evergreen Falls. The town is sleeping deeply now. The last lights have gone out. The last sounds have faded. Even the dogs are quiet. Even the night birds have settled. Just silence. Soft and complete. The kind of silence that holds you. That wraps around you. That tells you everything is okay. Everything is as it should be. We walk down a residential street, Pine Avenue. The houses here are older, Victorian, maybe, big porches, steep roofs, gardens that are probably beautiful in summer. Now they're just shapes in the darkness, shrubs and flower beds, dormant, waiting for spring. A porch light flickers. Someone's bulb is going out, needs to be replaced, tomorrow maybe, or next week. There's no rush, never any rush. In Evergreen Falls, our house is up ahead, or our room, or wherever we're staying tonight. It's there, waiting. The light is on. We left it on before we left, knowing we'd return, knowing we'd need that welcoming glow. We reach the door, turn the key, the lock clicks. Solid, familiar. The door swings open, warmth rushes out. We step inside, close the door behind us, lock it, safe. The house is quiet, comfortable, the kind of space that knows us, that fits us perfectly. We remove our jacket, hang it on the hook. It's damp from the mist. It'll dry by morning. We slip off our shoes. The floor is cool beneath our feet. Hardwood, smooth and worn. We pad through the house, past the living room, past the kitchen, down the hallway, toward the bedroom. The bed is waiting. Made this morning. Sheets pulled tight, pillows fluffed, a quilt folded at the foot. Handmade, maybe, by a grandmother, or picked up at a market. Either way, part of our story, part of our comfort. We climb into bed. The sheets are cool at first, then warm. They adapt to us, welcome us, hold us. We pull the quilt up. Its weight is reassuring, substantial, like being held, like being protected. The pillow is soft, perfect. Our head sinks into it, just enough, not too much. We adjust slightly, find the perfect position. And then, stillness. Outside, the last of the clouds are drifting away. The stars are coming out fully now, a whole sky full of them, watching over Evergreen Falls, watching over us. The creek is still rushing, finding its way to the sea. The trees are still dripping, the last of the rain returning to the earth. The owl is still calling, hoo, hoo, hoo. And somewhere, in a little bookstore on Maple Street, Naima, Margaret, is asleep. Henry curled at her feet, both of them dreaming. Peaceful dreams, book dreams, story dreams. We close our eyes. The darkness is soft, comforting, not empty, full of warmth, full of safety, full of everything we felt tonight. The rain, the coffee, the books, the lamplight, the kindness, all of it, held in the darkness, waiting to become dreams. Our breathing slows. In. Out. Out. I. Out. I. Out. Like the tide, like the creek, like the universe itself. Everything breathes, everything rises and falls, everything cycles, and we are part of it, all of it, connected, at peace. Sleep is coming now. We can feel it, at the edges, creeping in, soft and warm, like fog in a valley, like mist on a window, like the gentlest blanket ever made. Let it come. Don't fight it. Just The thoughts that tried to bother us, they're far away now, distant, unimportant. Tomorrow will handle tomorrow. Tonight, we rest. The memories of this evening, they wrap around us, the jingle of the bell, the creak of the floorboards, the warmth of the coffee mug, Margaret's smile, Henry's peaceful sleep, the rain on the roof. All of it, part of us now, forever. Our breath continues. In. Slower now, deeper. The world fades, gently, kindly, like a friend saying goodnight, like a parent tucking us in, like the universe saying, rest, now. You've done enough. You've been enough. Rest. Evergreen Falls sleeps. We sleep with it. Part of the town. Part of the night. Part of everything good and warm and safe. And the rain has stopped completely now. The clouds have cleared. The stars are out. Thousands of them. Millions. Watching over this little town. This little house. This little room. This little bed. And us. Right here. Safe and sound. Drifting. 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 Good night. Good night. Evergreen Falls. Good night, Maple Street. Good night, Weatherby's Books. Good night, Margaret. Good night, Henry. Good night, Henry. Good night, stars. Good night, world. Rest now. Dream softly. Let the night carry you through peaceful hours, through quiet moments, through all the beautiful nothing of sleep. And when morning comes, when the birds begin to sing, when the town wakes and stretches and starts another day, you'll be ready, rested, renewed, but that's hours away, many hours, a whole night of sleep ahead, deep and nourishing, restorative, perfect, so just. Let go. Close your eyes. If they aren't already, feel the weight of the blanket. Feel the softness of the pillow. Feel the warmth that surrounds you and drift slowly, gently, like a leaf on that creek, following the current, letting the water carry you. No effort, no resistance, just Tom, floating toward sleep, toward dreams, toward morning. Do with it what you will. Let it heal you. Let it restore you. Let it give you everything you need. And remember, DU. There will always be rainy nights in Evergreen Falls. There will always be warm bookstores. There will always be kind people and old cats and good coffee. There will always be a place for you, a place to rest, a place to belong, a place to simply fall, be, sleep well, sleep deep, sleep long, and dream of small towns, of gentle rain, of books and lamplight, of everything warm, everything safe, everything good. Sometime.